Lesson number 12. Not everyone that comes into your life is meant to stay forever. Sometimes you are in each other's life to serve a certain need at a certain time, and then we must move on our journey. So many of us meet friends, partnerships, girlfriends, boyfriends, and that person comes into our life and we adore them and they're a great person and you're a great person and you build this bond and you're building your life together. What people don't understand is that to get to know someone, it takes time for you guys to find out where your frequencies are, and also those life experiences that they have experienced and your life experiences and who you have become with your personality, with your belief systems, with your reality and your perception. You're now meeting at a certain time in your life and you have your belief system, you have your hobbies, you have your trajectory, your values, your morals, and your integrity. Most people meet each other based on attraction. And then they start to build a relationship, a friendship, and they say, that person.
Okay, that's a very good key point when he mentions attraction, and that doesn't necessarily mean sexually. It means the universe bringing you together in some mutual or common factor. And attraction can be you hang out at the same place or you like the same sports. It's real multi-dimensional. It's not just plain in black and white. And knowing when you are supposed to associate with someone you meet out in public, and knowing when or you are supposed to let that relationship kind of be passive is something that I think people grow and learn to do over time with age. Because the older I have gotten, the easier I it's gotten for me to know when I come in contact with someone. Okay, I know this is going to develop into something else, or I know how long this person is supposed to be around, or at least I know initially the purpose that they are supposed to be in my life. And a lot of people become needy, especially when they are trying to find a place in life or in world. They become needy and go to reaching and grabbing for friendships and validation and these social groups, and they'll get lost in life and what's going on, and it gets out of control. And that's where you get a lot of people that have bad relationships with men or women or whoever they're dating, is because they aren't slowing down enough to pay attention to the universe and their energy and their aura for it to show them or draw whoever that needs to come to them. And keep in mind that everyone or everything that comes to you and that is drawn to you is not always something positive and conducive for you in your life.
Gets me, that person likes me, and then you build a friendship or a partnership. But then as time goes on, the odds of you unilaterally growing together with the exact same values, morals, integrities, and the vision of where you want your life to go sometimes is not possible. Sometimes you guys are there to serve each other. Maybe you're giving somebody support and protection so that they can grow to the next level. Maybe they're coming into your life in a storm where they're allowing you to grow and bring something out of you or challenge you in a way so you learn something about yourself. We have to be learning to go with the flow of life.
And that's what I was just mentioning. Knowing and paying attention to what life and the universe is trying to show you, or and in life and the universe can be putting you through certain things for you to grow or for you to become the person you really need to become. But the problem is that I've learned, even when I was a lot younger, I've gotten in the way of the universe, forcing and pushing issues and running towards relationships that ultimately weren't good for me, but I was kind of basking in the moment, not paying attention to what was right in front of me, but with a broader perspective or broader mindset about, okay, why is this person around me? Why is this person in my life? Can I see this person in my life 5 or 10 years from now? Are we on the same road right now? Because when people come in and out of your life, if that person comes in your life and you are on the same trajectory, same track, same mindset, 9 times out of 10, in my opinion, that person is supposed to be there. But where people get misconstrued is that they think that some people are supposed to be there forever, and that's not the case in a lot of aspects. And you thinking of the world in general, and you thinking of the universe in general, and you got this vast moving parts of billions of people on earth that are moving and shaking and operating. So you gotta kind of have to let the universe shake and move and do its will on its own, and you just kind of go with the flow, but at the same time make good subconscious decisions about what flow you are going with, because you can go with a negative flow, you can go with a bad flow, you can go with bad people, you can go do bad things. So that ultimately boils down to the person and how in tune they are to reality and their life and who they are around.
And understand that just because sometimes someone wants to leave our life or we're ready to move on doesn't make them a bad person or you a bad person. It just means at that moment in time you guys aren't compatible. We have to be accepting that if we love somebody and we care about somebody, that not always us being together forever is the best thing for them or for you. When we care about somebody
And another thing I want to bring up, and that
and we
is
care about somebody
people not paying attention to their aura and their energy. You have to pay attention to your aura and your energy. Just the sheer energy alone, if you tap into yourself and tap into the world and what's going on around you, it's a lot of stuff that people, a lot of mistakes that people make can be avoided just by paying attention to aura and energy. The average person, if they are in tune and tap with their self, they can walk in a room, and within 10 or 15 minutes of being in that room, they can know who they need to associate with in that room, who they don't need to associate with in that room, what type of relationships that could evolve with whoever is in that room. But is it all boils down to paying attention to yourself, paying attention to what's going on around you, and paying attention to the universe. And I think a lot of people get lost and caught up in living in the moment. And let's get into social groups and social settings. And I when I was a lot young, I used to do my share of drinking and hanging out, but alcohol, alcohol and drugs or anything anybody may be on or doing is the worst thing if you are in a social setting to be partaking in, because it's going to greatly cloud your judgment, and you're going to ignore everything around you, and you just going to be basking in that high feeling or whatever you have going on. So socially, if you going out and you hanging out, try pulling back on the alcohol. Try not to drink at all, and go out a few weekends without drinking, and watch how your perspective on life and being around people and being able to read people and knowing who is good for you and bad for you. Watch how your mindset completely changes and your thought process completely changes. You will evolve into a much better person, a person with a better mindset, a person that can think clearly, a person that will ultimately know who is supposed to be in their life at that time. A lot of people, just like I say, they're getting caught up in these cycles. And it's ongoing, ongoing. Weekend friends drinking work, weekend friends drinking work. And you get so lost in what's going on around you that you can't pay attention to your own energy, your own aura, and what the world has to offer you. Like, subscribe, please hit the notification button. I appreciate everyone. Everyone have a blessed day.